Hi there, my name is Fix Fox, and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition. Today we are again back in the Descendants campaign, but we are going back in time to Ivory Gates. In the previous playthrough, the first full-length playthrough that we had gone through in this campaign, we ended up instead trying to go get some assistance instead of retaking the castle of Ivory Gates in Scenario 6. So now we are going to do Scenario 6, and we are going to take our land back. Let's view the intro so we can know exactly what we are getting ourselves into.
As war and unrest threatened to topple the kingdom of Jarkonis, a blow came which might have crushed it. The castle of Ivory Gates fell due to the treacherous actions of a spy from Harrendale. The ruler at the time, Athenia Geldria II, had to decide whether it was better to send for help from the elves or attempt to retake the fallen castle directly.
You know what? I can't lie. I would much rather prefer doing this kind of direct diplomatic approach. I call this a direct diplomatic approach, and really I just mean, oh, did you really just touch my stuff? Oh, that was a mistake. And that's what Scenario 6 is all about. Retaking what's ours, the Ivory Gates, the castle of Ivory Gates. Retake it, which has fallen due to treachery. We have the choice between negative 1,000 gold, negative 10 wood, or negative 2 mercury. Wait a second. We have to take a penalty? That's no fun. Thankfully, I don't have to actually choose which penalty we will take here. We're going to let the dice roll decide. As usual, let's allow the dice to indicate our fate. And we are going to roll a 3, and so in this instance that is going to give us negative 10 wood. How big of a difference is that? How big of a problem is that going to be? I do not quite know. As a disclaimer, I did play through about a third of this campaign, but I'd had some audio issues, and so I was forced to go instead into Scenario 7, but now we are back, and I'm really looking forward to this being an excellent scenario. Let's dive right in on hard difficulty. So we start off in the bottom right here with the castle of Barrowton. We have Astra the sorceress. She has 17 sprites. She's got 2 dwarves, and with her advanced navigation and basic wisdom, she is a pretty typical sorceress. We do have a pretty well upgraded town, all things considered here. The treehouse, the upgraded cottage. We do have the elves already from the non-upgraded archery range. And then we also have a statue, we have a well, a crystal garden. This is a great start. I'm very happy to see this start. Notice that here in our kind of tavern area, we do have the opportunity to recruit Uncle Ivan the Barbarian. I was not... Quite frankly, I didn't have time to go back and redo Scenario 5 with Joseph the Wizard, so we are going to use Uncle Ivan to complete this scenario, and that's just fine. We are going to plan on hiring him today. We are not going to wait for another day, and we have exactly 2,500 gold, and that's what we're going to do with that 2,500 gold. We have 0 of each of the precious resources, and with no wood, because of the negative 10 wood penalty, and only 5 ore, we are in a little bit of a tricky position. So I'm going to leave the dwarves here for now because they are a slow creature with only 2 speed versus the sprites with 4 speed. I think that leaving the dwarves home is going to be helpful for us to get out because I see lots of things around us. Right off the gate, we see first level creature, first level creature, first level creature, second level creature. But lots of treasure, lots of things to find. And it's always a good idea to kind of head down roads wherever you can, unless you have a real distinct reason to go out of your way and get treasure. I would go out of my way just specifically to get this treasure, but we do have a pretty good upgraded town already. What's hopefully my first purchase going to be? Maybe the archery range, if I can get 5 more, or maybe the Stonehenge. Maybe those early 4th level troops would be helpful. Here is ore right here, plus some gold. We're going to send Astra this way and plan on sending Ivan over to the east, so that way he can get these treasure chests, and we will start off our journey in that way. Oh, there is an observation tower. I'm going to want that as soon as possible, but we do get the 10 ore. That's going to be plenty of ore, and then I definitely don't want the experience on Astra. Maybe she's going to be a good hero for us, and maybe not. But 2,000 extra gold this early when we have very little gold off to start with. that seems to be the direction that feels best to me. We have Uncle Ivan the Barbarian. He's going to be the hero that we are going to recruit. He starts off level 5. Once again, we're going to leave the slow orcs behind. I know that there are lots of little level 1 troops. I'm probably going to have to wait before I really engage with them. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer time. I did make a mistake here. The Stonehenge does require the Mage Guild as a prerequisite, so we are going to need to find wood as soon as possible. Do I want to purchase any of these other buildings? The answer is absolutely no. We're just going to set off and try and find as much gold as possible. If we want to get another hero, we will in a little bit, but for now, let's just set off. Worth noting that he starts off with, wow, not too bad. Pathfinding, leadership, and navigation. Generally, I'm not happy to see navigation. I don't really know if this map has water or not. We will find out, but having the advanced leadership is always a good thing to see. Let's head this way. No point in really getting the magic well, but it saves a little bit of movement to get through. We're going to go with the experience here. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Because I've already got the leadership, I think I'm going to take diplomacy here. If I can get diplomacy from basic up to advanced or expert, this might be an opportunity to play a diplomacy game. And I've always talked about these diplomacy games, but I only play them if I kind of have it fall right into my lap. And here it seems as if it might be the opportunity. We will see. No guarantees just yet, but we're going to have to wait. That artifact, dependent of free will, we're going to have to wait on that. There's no sense in hurting ourselves just to get that. And otherwise, you know, I've got 4,000 gold. Is this a 3-hero map? Knowing that I have no purchases I can make right now, knowing that I have the well and the statue to already kind of move forward, I think so. I think so. So let's not get the Necromancer, let's get Jacqueline the Barbarian, and that's going to give us the opportunity to kind of stack orcs, get some of these dwarves, but otherwise she's going to leave the goblins there for someone else to come back and pick up. And let's have Jacqueline go up this road just a little ways and see what's up north. Lots of peasants here. I suppose I should have had her get this observation tower instead of simply going up the road. Okay, that is the end of day 1. Let's go on to day 2. Have Jacqueline immediately pick up this observation tower so we can see what we can see. There is a town here, a sorceress castle, weed patch. We have our ore mine right here, and there's so much treasure just laying all around. Here's my wood. I don't see a sawmill anywhere. You think I would remember, because I played this map within the last 3 weeks, you think I would remember where my sawmill is. Is it right here? It looks like there's some wood there. Maybe there's a sawmill up there. Otherwise, it looks like this is really the only place you can get wood. And being guarded by a ranged troop is a little bit of a tough pickup. I'm going to make it happen, though. I'm going to send Astra back because she's got the sprites. So Astra's going to go back into the castle. She did her job. She got the gold. She did some other stuff. She's going to pick up all these troops. Again, until we get wood, we can't purchase the Mage Guild. We are going to get that very, very soon. But let's get these sprites now. Do I get the elves? They're just going to get shot, and I'd like to get a big power stack of elves if I can. So we're going to wait on that. I will upgrade the dwarves. Will I purchase more dwarves? No. We're going to wait to see what our gold situation is going to look like in just a little bit. And then Ivan's going to get the experience now. Take one step over, and then Astra's going to meet up and hand over all these troops. Let's make sure that our split looks good. And the most important split is actually these sprites. More so than even having these battle dwarves. I know I just upgraded them. I know I acted like they were going to be an important part of my army. I just don't see that happening. Let's keep the goblins in the very middle of the battlefield so that as we move, we can have them either go to the north or to the south. That kind of helps mitigate issues that you might have with terrain. And then let's attack these archers, really relying on the power of these sprites. This is not a great army that I have. 8 orcs, 3 stacks of 8 to 9 sprites, and then 35 goblins. But for the wood, I think that it's worth our time. So let's fight this fight. I don't anticipate that I'm going to do any better than the AI just did there, but all the same, let's see. With no spells, 6 attack, 2 defense. Oh, I do have 2 knowledge, which is very rare. That's a 5% chance for a barbarian to get some additional knowledge early on. Ivan's looking a-okay. He's looking just fine. And of course, the strategy here is simply to encumber as many of these troops as possible so that the ranged troops will only do half damage on the retaliation. And I'm looking at this, saying to myself, with these orcs, I want to take out one whole stack where I can. And I also want to make sure that wherever these goblins go, and knowing that they're going to have to kind of go down to the south, they are going to do their very best to actually contribute to this fight. How good of a job they're going to do, unless they get good morale right there, which they don't, it was pretty unlikely. Let's just kill one whole stack of rangers or archers. We were very, very close, but no dice. There we go. And then these 4 archers are going to go next. They seem like the obvious choice. And from here, the battle is won. But rather than hit Q, let's just see this thing through. So 6, 5, and 2. I mean, 13 sprites is not a small deal. I almost wonder, maybe I should have left one stack of archers so they could kind of attack those orcs and try and do more damage to the orcs. Orcs are, of course, a tougher unit than the sprites on the one hand, but on the other hand, they're sprites, you know, they're a level 1 creature. Who really cares? Okay, logistics. I am happy to see logistics. I love ballistics. We're definitely going to take the logistics here. Having a lot of good early movement will stack up over the course of this game. I am very sure of it. So before we do anything else, we have enough resources to get our level 1 mage guild. Let's just take a peek in here. Cure slow view mines. I think that we will try and get that view mines quicker, so that way we can make sure that we know where our sawmill is going to be. I'm having a little bit of a thought here. Do I try and get all these resources, or do I try and get this town of Voyage patch? I think that I probably have enough resources right now. I'm going to be able to just wait until I can get the Stonehenge. Can I get 10 gems so I can get this fenced meadow? That's highly unlikely. And are there any other purchases I really must make in this town before the end of this week? No. So unless I see 10 gems around here, which I do not, then I think that I can pick these up whenever it suits me. It'll probably be best for me to get this crystal mine. Okay, my priorities are probably going to be in this order. Town of Weed Patch, ore mine, crystal mine, sawmill, wherever that's at. We're going to find out where our sawmill is. And then I'm excited to see this view mine so I can kind of see off into this area as well. But that's going to be my new priority is Weed Patch. And to get there, I need to go through lots of mutant zombies. Ranged troops everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. I already killed those archers. 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a lot of ranged troops out here to deal with. And that is a little bit tricky. So, because there's so much to pick up, though, as long as I have enough troops, I can use my secondary heroes to kind of split off and try and take the main fighting force and go in a different direction with that. It's not going to hurt my feelings too bad if a secondary hero is using those troops effectively. Generally, I always worry putting my armies in a split position, especially when the weaker hero is attacking with those troops. But I'm not as concerned because though Ivan is level 6, if these are all level 1 and level 2 troops, I don't think we're going to be as worried. Can I get 1600 gold this turn? Can Astra beat lots of zombies? I think she can. So we're going to come on in here. We're now going to purchase all the troops we can. This is going to set us a little bit behind. It's going to use up all the rest of our gold here. But I'm going to give all these troops over to Astra, and then the other heroes, the secondary heroes, are going to fight as best as they can while still helping me be effective with my army, because it's Ivan who's going to take the town of Weed Patch, and so he's going to set off immediately. He needs to go back because he needs that. Does he need that spell book? A cure and a slow. Is a slow going to be important? Definitely for nomads, I would say, especially because he's got 2 knowledge. Oh, it'll be a short way out of my way. Unfortunately, I got a little too excited, and I carried on when I ought to have slowed down and thought. That's okay. So, zombies, though, this fight shouldn't be too big of a problem. I definitely think I can fight this fight better because I've got these 2 ranged troops, and these zombies are so slow. It's going to take them, what, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take them 5 turns to get down the battlefield before they can actually do any kind of meaningful threat to me. Not even damage, just threaten to do damage. So I think that if we just let our ranged troops decimate them from afar, that should take the fight out of them. That should not be too big of an issue here. I will, rather than try and take out entire stacks, I will try right now just to whittle everybody down a little bit. There's a little bit of a kind of an interesting school of thought to be considered there when it comes down to, do I try and eliminate one entire stack, or do I try and just bring everybody's stack sizes down somewhat equally? And one of the things that matters is, in this case, for example, this zombie here, because of terrain, he's going to be isolated from the rest of his friends. He is going to get here 1 turn later than everybody else. I definitely wouldn't really want to focus him so much. You definitely want to try and have as few troops on the battlefield as possible, because you can then simplify the position. You can isolate fights. You can make sure that you don't have to deal with everybody swarming you all at once. But when that's not the case, there's sometimes a better tactical advantage to just making sure that when damage is done to you, it's not a massive amount. In this case, because I got these really, really fragile sprites, that seems better to me. I'd rather have 1 or 2 zombies get a hit off on these sprites than 1 stack of 4, which I think could be more reasonable to happen if I weren't careful. We'll try and kill 14 hit points worth of damage there. Anyway, we ended up fighting that fight way better. And that's just kind of my thought process when it comes to, do I try and take out all the stacks, or do I try and just beat them down a little bit, piece by piece, bit by bit? It's going to cost me too much gold to get the Thieves Guild here, but I'd really like to, because I'd like to know what's in Weed Patch. I'd really like to, but next turn I'm going to have not enough to get this Stonehenge. I'm going to need even more gold than I currently have. So we're going to wait. Well, plus a spell book. We're going to wait. Again, we have a well, we have a statue, we have all these wonderful things. I think it's going to be okay if we just wait. Do I really need this ore? What am I going to make ore for me? Oh, I guess I got the Stonehenge. Oh, my math did not take into account the 250 gold from the statue. That's nice. We're going to do this now. And then these troops are immediately going to follow us up. We're going to go through the zombies this turn, and then right before we attack Weed Patch, we're going to get the druids into the army. But do I need the extra 10 ore? What else do I use ore for? Not here. The red tower, but we are way too far away from that, so let's not concern ourselves at this time. Astra's going to ignore the sprites. She's going to get as far as she can. Ivan's going to go to here. Yes, not getting the spellbook. I think he'll be okay. That's my thought process there. And then Jacqueline's going to come the rest of the way to carry on these troops. Very important to note. I wouldn't say very important, but in this case, if I highlight a stack of creatures, that's going to be the stack of creatures that stays when I do my all arrows over the side here. So that time I highlighted the elves and the elves stayed. If I highlight the sprites and then I click over, the sprite will stay. You see me often fumble that, and I just don't take the time to click, and really it ends up costing me a little bit of time. Is it important that we are quick in a turn-based strategy game like this? No, it's not. But sometimes a little bit less frustration can go a long way. Now, this fight is much different than the other one because mutant zombies are literally twice as fast. And I'm all for it. Let them come at me, and let's see where their priorities lie. Interesting that one zombie went up, and then it looks like 2 zombies are going to go down. I gotta say, I really like that. I think that that's a smart decision from the AI. Rather than all the AI having a simple check yes, check no as to is there spots currently available on this one enemy that I want to take out? The AI is doing a pretty good job there, I think, of splitting its troops 1, 2, 3, 4, and getting both of its priorities taken care of. These zombies are going to reach, but we're going to let probably the elves Probably the elves. Make sure that they're not a problem. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, we are in a pretty okay spot here. Let's have our ranged troops focus down here because the sprites and the goblins are easily going to manage these mutant zombies. 3 to 6, we'll take the retaliation. That's, wow, 5 goblins. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I didn't know that 5 mutant zombies could kill 5 goblins. 5 attack, 3 defense. Yeah, interesting. I don't think of goblins as a particularly weak creature, but when you look at it, they're kind of fragile. The mutant zombies are going to get to go next, and it's going to be these 4. So let's kill 1 to 2 now. 2 more goblins go down. These zombies are going to go. There's nothing we can do to make this fight go any other way, but the losses are still much better than they were the first time around. Okay. So now the path is laid clear. Shrine of the Third Circle, I would need the wisdom to make that happen. And obviously, we finished in the nick of time. I think the Astra can go here, bounce over to Jacqueline, and we can get those troops on over to Ivan. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Okay. Is it worth it to get the druids? I mean, with a little bit more gold, I'll get the greater druids, which are a terrific upgrade. And then I won't have to pay to upgrade them. I think that we're going to do that. I think we're actually going to wait on those druids. I know I had built my strategy around doing things a little bit differently, but now, as I'm looking at it, I'm going to change my mind just a little bit. If this army is not enough to defeat the defenders here in Weed Patch, I'm going to be very, very sad. But I think, oh boy, but I think that we should try. Wow, okay. I didn't think that this would be very much of a fight. I mean, these 7 dwarves, that's 140 hit points there. That's a lot of hit points that need to be dealt with. The ballista is not really a factor here. Well, 7 damage, that's 2 goblins at a time. And right now I'm just going to get my troops down the battlefield as quickly as possible. Thankfully, the sprites are going to fly right into the teeth of my goblins. Because the sprites are about to probably die from the ballista here, I'm just going to have them fly across. Rather than do half damage to these elves or these dwarves, let's try and take out as many of these sprites as possible. We did not kill them all, but we did our absolute best. Okay. Okay. And still that goes a little bit better than it could have otherwise. That was really bad though. If you noticed, the ballista did not break through any section of wall there. And that just does not feel very good. I hope I can kill one. Yes, I can kill one elf there. Here comes a second. And these dwarves, because I'm doing full damage to them, they're going to take the rest of my ire. They're going to get focused down. Or should they? I can kill 2 to 3. Yeah, I better kill 2 to 3 while I can. And then the goblins next turn are probably going to sneak this way towards these elves. I guess I can do full damage to them now. They've got 22 hit points left. Let's attack these elves. Yeah, with the retaliation and these orcs, we should be okay to do that. It'll actually save us an extra retaliation shot. So overall, that wasn't too bad of a fight. When I'm thinking about it this way, those orcs and those goblins that we got, those were from Ivan and those were from Jacqueline. But are orcs and goblins a renewable troop? No, I don't have access to a stick hut. I don't have access to a barracks. And so using these orcs and goblins now in this way is probably the best thing I can do. They're just kind of fodder, and eventually I'm going to transition to better troops from these sorceress castles, and that's my plan. Okay, we are out of gold. We are so out of gold, and it feels so not good. It's day 5, but with no gold, what are you going to do here? There's treasure chests here. We got to do something there. We've got to do something there. This stash will be for later. This stash is going to be a good decision later. Even if I go through these peasants right now, I'll have to fight troops to kind of get out. There's troops everywhere here to deal with, and gold is the way that we can muster up a sizable force to actually get into some other possible avenues. Let's have Jacqueline pick up that for us. Astra is going to stay, so that way she can potentially respond to any needs in the future. And then Ivan's going to get some gold for us right now. Do we have any more sprites? We do not, so we have no flying troops. We have some flying troops. Orcs. We do not have a very sizable fighting force. Lots is anywhere between, what, 25 to 49? This could be way too big of an army for me to deal with. Let's try. Let's try and bring... Should we bring some help? I can't beat both of these fights. I've got the Mercury I need for the upgraded Stonehenge. There's no gems on the battlefield. I just need the gold so I can start making purchases in this other town. So I think that since Astra can't really reach here anyway, there's no point in bringing in more dwarves. Let's just fight this fight and hope we get very lucky. I don't think this is an easy fight. Let's do the best we can. Okay, the fact that it says we're going to win feels really nice, and it looks like we're going to have a little bit of breathing room on top of that. Losing 3 elves is not easy, but again, we're here for the gold. Let's see how this battle goes. Okay. Their orc chiefs are going to go after my sprites. Sprites are going to jump on there. And let's just get down the battlefield as quickly as possible. That morale might be pretty useful. And the battle dwarves are actually going to be... They're going to get into the fight at some point. They're going to mix things up. My orcs are going to attack probably one of these stacks of orcs over here. Should I try and take out 1 to 2? Let's actually take out 1 to 2. Yeah, let's take out 2 here. And we did. We took out 2 there. And the reason why I'm focusing on this 1 is that then I'm not going to feel too bad about not devoting a creature to slot right here. I can slot down here a little bit more flexibly, because these sprites are not going to last too much longer. Not too much longer at all. In fact, right now their whole job is to hope the best. There's no way these orcs are not going to kill them in just half of a second. And then let's not worry about this gentleman here. I know he's an orc, but we got to have some standards here. We got to be nice to these folks. And then let's kill 2 here. So 1 on the end, 1 on the end, but that feels like about as good of a split as I can. And then let's go here. And then these dwarves are going to go here. Okay. And so now with 2 elves left here, that's still way too much damage to just give up. Let's still work on these orc chiefs. And then let's start to work on this stack of 5. Because we need to get the damage on the bigger stacks. Any damage that isn't used to kill a whole stack. You know, if there's, what I mean is this, is if there's 8 hit points left on this orc and I'm going to do 16 points of damage, that's just wasting 8 points of damage. And in a close fight like that, it's worth it to me to consider that. And so this big stack of 3 is going to get my attention. That stack goes down. No, 3 hit points left. 9, it doesn't matter. Let's try and keep the less hardy unit, the goblin, in a good way. And then our losses actually looked better there. And I don't really care about the first level creatures there. I think that the elves, going from 3 lost elves down to 2, that's really where I'm very happy. That's where I really hang my hat. I love archery, especially because it's going to be here for a sorceress type castle. Elves and the druids can make such good use out of archery. I'm always happy to see it whenever I'm sorceresses. We're going to take the gold. We're going to take the gold. And we're going to take the gold. That was 6,000 gold. That was 6,000 gold. That turns our fortunes drastically. Unfortunately, we're going to need to get the tavern here before we can get the cottage. We're going to need the Mage Guild before we can get the Stonehenge. Uh-oh. 10 ore, 5 ore. If I can get 15 ore, then we can get the druids here before the new week. There's ore here, but I need 15 ore. Is it possible? For now, let's get these dwarves. It looks like they're going to be more and more important as things go on. Okay, I'm really happy with the way that's gone, by the way. That was a good first week so far. I know it's not over, but this feels pretty okay to me. What spell is this? Identify Hero. Identify Hero is a spell that I've slept on. I didn't realize that Identify Hero works on any hero that is in your sight range. And I don't mean the sight range of your hero like, oh, I can see about this far. No. If there is uncharted territory, I can't see in there. But if I have seen that territory and I can right-click on your hero, I will be able to get a whole ton of extra detailed information, including attack skill, how many creatures you have, things like that. Identify Hero is an excellent third-level spell. I'm very happy to see that. Let's cast View Minds before I do too much. Looks like we're up against one enemy here. I mean, it's possible that there's other enemies, but if they're not picking up mines, then I'm not too worried about them. Let's look kind of more in our immediate area here. So we've got crystal here, ore here, wood here, mercury and mercury. And we know that for phoenixes that we're going to need a lot of mercury. So whether we go to the west or whether we go to the north, it doesn't really matter. We're going to head into mercury at some point. Based off of what I can see right now, I'm thinking that north is where we need to go because it also has our sawmill up here. Wait, did I see a sawmill up here? Yeah, there is a sawmill right there. So we're going to end up going north instead of here to the west, but that does not mean that we're not going to destroy these rangers just so I can have another hero kind of sneak out and start to spy for me and see what's up. There's 6 ore, there's 9 ore, that's 15, that's everything I needed right there. That feels excellent. Jacqueline's actually got only one more little bit of movement points for today, and I want Ivan to get this gazebo. So I'm going to make sure that he gets the gazebo now, and now Jacqueline can step on there. She'll take logistics, and Astra. I guess we'll see about this pendant. Artifact. The sounds of combat draw you to a scene of a fight between an old barbarian and an 8-headed hydra. Your timely intervention swings the battle in favor of the man, and he rewards you with a pendant he used to calm his mind for battle. This Serenity pendant will make us immune to berserk spells. So anti-berserk, anti-hypnotize, there's some good anti-spells here. But now we just need the pendant of the something, so that way we're not going to get blinded. That's a very, very technical term. The pendant of the something. As far as, let's see, what else to do here? I don't think that there's any other purchases in my main town. We're just going for the druids in the other town, and we will get those right now. Easy. Okay, so again, that archery skill is going to come in important. Let's see about this mage guild here. Blessed stones can be resources. I love that this mage guild and that other mage guild are both different. All 3 spells are different from mage guild to mage guild. So I am going to send Ivan back. I know it's day 7 and I could potentially get these orcs very quickly, but since I got to go north, I might as well get these nomads. We're going to head this way first. I've got pretty much all my spell points. That's not going to matter. And then Jacqueline's going to head this way just so she can assist where necessary. Astra's done her job. She's going to stay right there. We remember that there's no purchases to make. It's a new week now. Cavalry's growth up by 5. Astra, make all the purchases here for me. And I know I had talked about getting the Greater Druids. Let's get the Greater Druids now. And then we're going to wait on the elves for another day. That's 3,200 gold right there. Before I do anything else, let me get the tavern here just so I'm moving ahead. I'm kind of getting ahead a little bit. And then I think that having sprites is always a good use. Not always do I really care about my level 1 creatures, but because I'm not purchasing the elves at this time, and the sprites are a flying creature, it seemeth me good to kind of move forward in that direction. Jacqueline is now going to head over here so she can ferry troops from here, and then Astra's going to go to this town next to kind of do the back and forth. I had a little bit of an interesting thought, so I started to pin together a little bit of another kind of more deep dive of a topic. This army is probably the best for me. The goblins are officially done with only 3 of them left. This is where they stay. And the request was made that I do a video kind of ranking the different towns, different factions. First and foremost, there is one video that I've just kind of been sitting on because it takes so much editing to really make it the way I want it. And I have a guest who I'm very grateful has been willing to help me. And because I don't want to let him down, I'm trying to make sure that this one video that's been in the works for a couple of weeks now goes very, very well. And yet I'm also thinking about other videos that have come out, and one of which was a video that was requested about ranking the different factions. And in order to do that video, I kind of need to do another video first. And that video is ranking all of the tier 1 creatures, and then all the tier 2 creatures, and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, ranking them from faction to faction against themselves. Which is the best tier 1 creature? Sprites, centaurs, goblins, halflings? Who am I missing? Peasants? Yeah, peasants are at the top there. And just kind of having that discussion, because if we're talking about faction to faction, I think that's a pretty good discussion to have. I really do. This battle is not a pushover, by the way. And so the whole reason why I haven't really been pushing out some of these extra videos, I don't want to say it's low effort to do these videos I'm doing here. I really try to do my best to be prepared and to have some general talking points in hand, so that way things are okay for these videos. And yet it does take a little bit more to do those kind of deep dive topics, to really set things together, especially if there's going to be any kind of editing. I'd like to put out something of quality. So I've been putting out a lot of these playthrough videos, and they are great and I love them, but I have an interest in lots of different videos. There's lots to talk about here with Heroes Might and Magic. Unfortunately, I just don't get the opportunity that often anymore to sit down and spend time with my hobby. But we all got obligations, we've all got responsibilities. I think that we all understand that. So it's all about balance. Worth noting, logistics. All of my heroes got logistics. That is great. That is really, really nice. Let's get this cottage now. And then still we're waiting on gems over here in this other town. It would be very easy, by the way, for someone to say, Fixfox, you've got 2 towns here and they are so close together. It is by road 1 day, I would say, between the 2 of them. I'm gonna take luck. I like luck a lot. Does it make any sense to just upgrade your Stonehenge here and your archery range here, and then move troops from one castle to the other, and then upgrade these unupgraded troops over here? And the answer is, in small numbers, yes. But if you're going to be doing, you can calculate very, very quickly what it's going to take, how long before you break even. 350 for the base level druids, 400 for the greater druids, and it's going to be double the cost for an upgrade. So to upgrade a druid to a greater druid, that's going to be 100 gold per unit. And the upgraded Stonehenge was an extra 1500 gold and the 5 mercury. Basically, you break even, let's just say with the mercury, say that mercury is worth 100 gold. After 20 druids, you're going to break even anyway. So you might as well just upgrade both dwellings. Unless there's like a dragon roost, dragon spire, dragon tower. That might be a time where you would want to consider only having like your level 6 dragons upgraded in one place. Maybe if you had 2 wizard towns, giants to titans, just because the cost to get the upgraded cloud castle is so expensive. But you're going to find very, very quickly that you're going to break even and then start to lose money. And it's not going to take as long as you sometimes think. So we're going to make sure we upgrade these towns evenly here. I don't remember if in Heroes 3 or Heroes 4, if the cost ended up being just a little bit different. I just don't remember. I don't recall. It's been a minute since I was knee deep in it. I would need some specific examples to help me understand best how to best advise somebody in that situation. Depending on, what's the faction, who are we talking about, things like that. This bless, by the way, on these greater druids is pretty good. I'm going to plan on them just destroying one whole stack of creatures every single time that they go. So there's 20 hit points there. Gone. Ugh. And then unfortunately these mutant zombies are just kind of plodding their way up this battlefield here. I'm just going to stick this stack of battle dwarves here. Planning on killing 5 zombies here. A couple more. And then letting the dwarves take the hit because they are just so tough. And saving that elf. We do have the spell book now, and so this view artifact spell feels pretty okay. Horde of skeletons. We are going to fight them, but Astra and Jacqueline are going to help with the resupply now. So let's get the 3,700 gold. There'd be 1,500 of it. What troops do I have in this other town that I can purchase right now that can help with the war effort? I can get all the Grand Elves and some sprites. Let's actually do that. We will wait on these dwarves, but let's get these other troops on over to Ivan via Jacqueline, because those troops will help out a lot with those. With those skeletons. I guess Jacqueline needs to go upgrade these elves. And then with 1,600 gold left, might as well start. We need the statue. Let's get the statue. And we'll kind of operate off of one town just for a moment. Okay. Worth noting, it's week 2, day 4. We haven't seen the enemy yet. I'd love to get access to this water wheel. I'd love to get access into this area via the rangers. I might do that with Astra. She's level 2. But we will wait and see. I don't see how I'm going to lose any sprites here on this battle, because the skeletons are going to take their time getting down the field. And with 3 shooters, I'm going to absolutely wreck these guys. Yeah, I think that the sprites just need to stay back. In fact, let's hit Q. Yeah, that's all it took. I just needed the sprites to slow their roll just a little bit. I don't really want to tangle with these halflings and these goblins yet, but this is a huge treasure trove. Is it better for me to get this way or to get over here? If this was a better artifact than the spyglass, I would consider it, but I know that there's a sawmill up here and I only have 13 wood. Let's press our advantage north. The peasants wanted to run. Unfortunately, somebody made the decision to not let them run. Who was that? I don't know. Couldn't have been me. I'm a friend to everybody. Again, no purchases there, but here's where I gotta kind of consider. I think I just need to make sure I get the well before I do too much. It's only day 4, but I think that I do need to make sure that I make that a priority. And then upgrade here. And since I'm going to end up fighting iron golems, I'm going to send the dwarves up as soon as I can. And then that'll also help make sure that Jacqueline can go this way, go that way. I don't want Ivan to do any resource collecting at this point. It needs to be another hero who makes that their priority. Astra's going to stay here. Getting that 3rd hero early. If I could redo it, would I have done it? Difficult to say, and I don't know. I think you could easily argue that it's been a little bit of a waste having a 3rd hero. But I did get a couple of extra orcs that have been useful. I did get those goblins. Somebody, somewhere, they asserted that the 2,500 gold it costs to get a new hero is worth it every time just because of the base level troops, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not saying that they're wrong, and I don't even remember who it was, and I feel bad because then that means that they can't defend themselves, but someone somewhere mentioned that, and I thought to myself, no, I disagree with that, because the first level creatures are just always going to be so much more comparatively weak. I mean, the best time to purchase a hero just for the starting troops would be in week 1, because that's when they're going to be the most value to you. But even now, when I'm starting to look at, golems and stuff like that, are 12 to 17 goblins really going to do anything for me? I don't think so. I really don't. So the notion that the 2,500 gold that you use to purchase a hero is worth it just because of the troops, I do reject that notion. I understand where you could come from with that, though. Really, I think that you're paying the 2,500 gold just so you can have the increased logistics on the map, though. Having another person that can go out there and collect resources, can do some scouting for you, can free up the value of this other hero with the main army, who can share troops, and so we can split the troops and make them even more effective. Those are all good reasons to spend the 2,500 gold. The starting creatures, just not so much. Worth noting, oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4 pots of mercury, 5 pots of mercury. It's day 6. Oh no. I think I made a mistake. I could have had phoenixes. You know what? I still might. Hold on. I can get phoenixes. And I will. Wait, no, I don't have the gold. Darn. Here's my thought process. 20 mercury, 30 ore. It's the 10,000 gold that's really the problem. No, but look, there's all this gold up here. We're doing it. We're going to find a way to make this happen. Okay. Because this is all free resources. I'd love for Ivan to be the one to collect this over here. But I also need to make sure I get troops down here. Astra's got troops she can purchase here. Let's save, but we also have to save gold. Very interesting. How do we do this? Hero. Priority. We have 2 days to do this. I want to get the troops back that way. I think that if we take... Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 2 steps out of our way. A couple steps here. Bring over all the troops. Minus a sprite. And then Jacqueline can get into this area, and Astra can be the 3rd hero, who then carries the advantage. That mercury pot seems a little much. Seems like a little bit much. 20. I need 12 mercury over these 4 pots. If I miscalculate here, I'll be very sad, but I gotta get at least maybe all 4, maybe only 3, and then a couple of treasure chests, and then we're gonna be good to go. So let's save our gold, and let's get a phoenix. Let's get phoenixes on day 7. Can we just pretend like we don't have a prerequisite of getting unicorns? Can we just pretend for 1 second that we don't need the fenced meadow? Can we just pretend? Okay, so that big plan was all for naught. And yet that could have been a deciding factor if we had been able to think 2 more extra steps ahead. This is the equivalent of someone playing chess and saying to themselves, "Oh my gosh, that's mate in 3," and then they realize, "Oh wait, my opponent zigged when I thought they would zag, and actually no, I am on the losing end of this confrontation." It does happen quite a lot. All the same, let's continue and do the very best we can. So Jacqueline's going to clear out all this because it doesn't matter the timing nearly so much. We're going to take a little bit of gold and a little bit of experience. Let's take 1,000 gold here. We'll take the logistics. Let's take 1,500. Let's take the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. And then here, let's take gold. Let's take the experience and go with ballistics. Okay. All right. I don't hate everything that happened there because now a level 12 barbarian feels pretty good. Wait a second. 2 spell power, 2 knowledge. Yeah, I like the way that Ivan is trending at this point. Oh, there are gems right there. They're kind of hidden in the tree line. It's not going to be 10 though. If it were 10, I would do something. I would definitely be a little bit concerned. Let's just pick up this Crystal Garden now. Darn. If I could have gotten Phoenixes at the end of week 2, that would have been pretty tremendous. But these things do happen. We will soldier on. Okay, this is the beginning of week 3. For the first time, we see an enemy just out of reach there. But we will not be deterred from pressing forward with Ivan. We're getting all these great opportunities for experience instead of gold, and I'm taking them. Oh, I'm taking them. Lots of iron golems. I think, again, if we just save the sprites, if they're not so impetuous, that we will be just fine. But at least we know that the enemy is kind of out on the battlefield. It's probably too late for me now to get a single wandering hero out there just to kind of see what is out there for me. It might be just a little too late. I should kill this whole stack of golems. I do. Very nice. Because if they're out there on the battlefield, I'm guessing that they're out there in force. I had originally supposed that perhaps I could send some hero west on that road through the rangers that are by the second sorcerer's town, the town of Briar Patch. It's not Briar Patch, but I don't think that that's going to be too much of an option. Again, just because if the enemy is out there, I don't know, maybe I've seen a couple of good free resources just because my starting area has required me to defeat neutral monsters to get anywhere. That doesn't mean that everywhere will. That's not at all what that means. So, wood here, gems here. If it's 10, okay, good. I'm actually glad it wasn't 10. Otherwise, I would have felt very sad. But this is all the mercury I'm going to need. Oh, and more gems here. Okay, so we need 2 marketplaces. It's day 1, so it doesn't matter really what we do here. Other than, I mean, we could purchase troops to send towards the resupply, but I don't hate this decision so far anyway. So, Fenced Meadow with 10 gems, and then the Phoenixes. We're going to get these good troops very, very quickly. What's left to upgrade here? Lots. Lots. There's 5 mercury. I think that we're probably not going to end up doing that anytime soon. Not until I get a Alchemist Tower. And I'm going to wait one more turn to send Astra north with troops, because I'm not sure where I'm going to need them. You know what? She can fight some fights and help me clear out some of these other creatures. Gold is not too much of an issue at the moment, so let's defeat these other troops. No problem. And then that's an extra 6, 5, 11, that's 17 ore there. I think I can do something similar to these centaurs here. I may lose 1 or 2 troops, but it won't be too bad. For that amount of ore, maybe it's not worth it. I think I do want to dismiss these goblins and split the sprites, especially since they are ranged creatures. Let's fight the halflings first. Yeah, I think that that's pretty fair. I don't think I'm going to do much better than 6 and 2. A merchant from faraway lands trades you a new invention of his people for traveling supplies. It makes distant objects appear closer, and he calls it a telescope. So that's +1 viewing terrain. It's like you have basic scouting. There's more mercury. We're going to take the gold here. Sulfur. crystal gems. We started off with no precious resources. We now have 21, 29, 21, and 9. I think I'd rather have phoenixes, especially because I have Ivan, than I would prefer to have levels of the Mage Guild. But I think I would, if I was Joseph, I would probably deviate from that. No, I wouldn't, because 9 gems is not enough. 9 gems will get you 2 additional levels of the Mage Guild. Yeah, that'll get you from a level 1 up to a level 3 Mage Guild. A level 3 spell doesn't quite move the needle in the same way that Phoenixes and Unicorns will. So, even so, regardless of whether I'm Joseph or whether I am Ivan, I am absolutely going to stay there where I'm at. I have made a mistake. And here's the mistake I've made in the past. I have not gotten these Tree of Knowledges because I say to myself, well, my hero is fairly low leveled. How about I just come back later when he's like level 22 or 23 and experience is much harder to come by. Because of course, from level to level, it takes more experience to go from higher levels to even higher levels than it does from low levels to medium levels. And what has ended up happening is that I then have a map that is dotted with these trees of knowledge that my main hero never picked up. And I win the fight, I win the scenario, and I don't ever actually claim the tree of knowledge. In this instance, I will not because, hey, I don't want to pay the 10 gems to do it. But I think that that's a tactical change that I need to make. Yes, there might be a time where it makes a lot of sense, but in general, thus far, it has proved to be a deterrent to me. So I'm going to start taking those more often than not. I had a similar bit of growth when I considered whether or not I should get witches' huts. And originally I thought to myself, well, I'm going to spend the time to wait for another hero. Horde of goblins, I can beat them. I considered, well, I will wait to have a second hero go into the witch's hut, especially when I'm like a level 1 or a level 2 hero. Oh, because I want to build the perfect hero and I don't want to get basic navigation from witch's hut on a map with no water. And yes, that's a good general idea to make. But the problem is that there's only 14 secondary skills that you can pick up in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. And you have 8 slots, minus necromancy, right? That's 13 different secondary skills you can get. The chance of you getting all terrible secondary skills is actually fairly low. It's actually fairly low. And so for that same reason that we had talked about before, where it's like, well, do you want to, have a map dotted with all these witches' huts that you never used and you never are going to use? Does that really help you? Not really. So for that reason, I'm just changing the way I approach these maps a little bit. Astra's got troops, Jacqueline's got movement, and we know that there is a alchemist tower right there. I want that very quickly, so we're going to get that very, very soon. Remember, we were going to trade for the 1 gem. That's why we got the marketplaces last time. We've got plenty of ore. Let's do that now. Pick up the fenced meadow, and the next turn we are going to use the ore to get the red tower in the event that we are able to have enough gold. What's the likelihood? Actually kind of low. 1,500 gold, that's too much to upgrade the dwarves at this time, especially when we are angling for a bigger prize. We can reach now. Are there any troops that we actually wanted to pick up in here? I don't think so. No, we're going to leave the unicorns. We will get the unicorns. It's just going to be in a little while because we want to make sure. We want to make sure that we have a reasonable stack if they're going to take up some space. Otherwise, it's better to have the flexibility of being able to like split sprites into 2 groups if we're going to be fighting some enemies, things like that. Jacqueline is going to set off with Ivan, level 3, level 4. Yeah, my secondary heroes are doing pretty well. Ivan, he doesn't need this witch's hut. He's got no other room for secondary skills. Oh, stables. There's the stables right there in the darkness. Day 4, let's pick up the windmill on our way to this alchemist lab. And it's a good thing I'm bringing the secondary hero along. Knowing that there was somebody right over here, though, I'm only going to go this far. So that way Jacqueline can maybe stay a little bit safer. Because I think that she is easily spotted at the moment. I think that enemy heroes can see her. Wow, red player's been vanquished. I didn't even know that there was a red player. We had done view mines. And view mines, it was just all green. So, okay, there was a red player on this map, and now there is not. Very interesting. So Jacqueline's might as well help out with the collection, save the movement on Ivan as much as she can. Medal of Honor, +1 morale. Let's get that. Glorious Battle, I will lose the 4 sprites. Dwarves, I will lose no sprites this time. And I'm starting to think, should I get experience with Ivan or should I take the gold? I'm about to need a lot of gold, and if the strongest that the sorceress faction is in the mid game, well, here we are. We are pretty much in the mid game. About a month in is kind of what I would consider mid game, because by now most people have their upper tier creatures. This is probably about the right time to consider making a big push, especially depending on what the enemy heroes are. I don't know if they are. I know that last time I was here, there was a barbarian town somewhere over here, and other than that, I have no idea what I'm up against. I don't even know what the Castle of Ivory Gates is. I don't know. But that is worth noting here, real quick. Let's go to the info. Retake the Castle of Ivory Gates, which has fallen due to treachery. I don't actually have to win this map, in the sense I don't have to beat every single enemy. Mind blown. Really, this is not one of those destroy everybody kind of a deals. I only have to retake that one castle, and I got an excellent comment on one of the videos from the Price of Loyalty campaign, where you have to go and get Dimension Door in a spell scroll and then go into the Necromancer Castle to get that piece of the Battle Garb of Andrin. And they mentioned that they were able to quickly finish that scenario because they didn't end up fighting every single foe. They just took their Crusaders and they got the scroll, and they stuck to their objectives. They were smart. The goal was to beat the Necromancer Castle. And this is another one of those opportunities here where I can absolutely defeat every enemy on the battlefield. I could definitely do that, but we could also just stick to the objectives and try and work smarter and not harder, if that makes any sense. It doesn't matter if we get the red tower now or next turn. I will wait for the gold rather than trade for it. But yeah, if Ivan's the biggest, baddest guy out there, maybe that's what we end up doing. Maybe we don't need to worry about heroes in our backline. We just need to get enough army to push forward and destroy. So that's what we're going to plan on doing right now. I'm going to send Ivan out. He's going to go back for one more resupply, maybe a second level of Mage Guild, since he doesn't have Wisdom. And then with one more week's worth of troops, he should be able to just dominate. He should, because that's going to be 4 Phoenixes out of this red tower, not to mention 6 unicorns. So we'll be okay. And we took all that gold with Jacqueline. We're going to take even more gold. This is going to be okay. Both towns are fully upgraded as far as the level 6 creatures go. Excuse me, as far as the dwellings go. So we can mix troops without any problems. I don't think we're going to get the fenced meadow here anytime soon. But, okay, plenty of gold. Jacqueline is just going to sit here on this windmill, and she'll set off next time. And I true to my word, I'm going to have Ivan go back. Jacqueline's probably going to pick up this windmill and then set off north along this road, while Astra helps with the resupply. Okay, last purchases before the new week. There are none. Off we go. Aha! Hello. Dawn. Very interesting. We have Identify Hero. Enemy heroes are now fully identifiable. Dawn is a level 11 green hero with 6 giants, 4 war trolls, 13 orc chiefs, 5 ogre lords, and 3 arc magi. 80 spell points. 14 spell power. 14 spell power. Backed up by 8 knowledge for 80 spell points. That looks like a little bit of a concerning fight. So Jacqueline, I hope, this is what I hope, is that Jacqueline does this And then I hope that I can get Dawn to kind of advance into me while Ivan heads back. Picks up a temple. Huh? No, I've got the Medal of Honor plus the leadership here. I'm going to get rid of the orc, so it's not going to matter. And then, if I can, I kind of hope Dawn pushes into this area and I can surprise her with this very, very large army that's coming right at her. We do need to make our purchases here first, though. 4 Phoenixes is absolutely going to be the most critical part of the army, and then because I have the archery, then elves, then greater druids, 2,700 gold. Then let's send out, oh boy, there's just not enough gold to go around, is there? Let's pick up the greater druids. And should I wait one more week or not? I don't know. Next day, I'm going to have 2,500 gold. I think I should plan on getting this level 2 mage guild. And then I'll pick up the rest of these troops that are in here. Probably, well, maybe some more sprites. No, but that means that Astra needs to stay because that's not going to be a full use of all my gold. We need to wait for just one more turn here. I don't have enough troops to defeat these orcs. Pick up this and then go. Okay, we're still going to wait one more turn, though. Dawn is a scaredy cat. With no gems, I guess at this level 2 mage guild, it's just not happening. All the more reason why Astra staying at home was a good decision. Was it really a good decision if you made it and you didn't realize that it was a dumb decision at the time? Schrodinger's decision. It's both a good decision and a bad decision. Sprites. Let's see what army Astra's coming with, and then we'll make our decision as far as how we proceed. 20 elves. Or, well, 7 or 9. I think you take the greater druids. They're just a better troop all around. We're going to ignore the orcs. We're going to head up this way. And actually, I'm going to do it this way. Whereas Astra's going down, Ivan's going to do the honors of initiating the pickup so that he will be on the road, but she has a good chance of coming into this town and then heading back with one more week's worth of gold. 61 halflings, that's not going to really move the needle. Maybe, though, I can get Dawn to come back. Yeah, let's actually use Jacqueline as bait. I'm so sorry to lose a hero like her. She's great, but we are going to use her as bait. Okay. Yep. Let's just see. Maybe we'll get her to use some spells. She is so weak with 0 attack. Even these 6 giants are going to be just useless. Huh. Okay. I am going to just run with Jacqueline. If I can rehire her, it'll be worth the gold. Oh, hello. Well, hello there. She now has 3 defense. Worth noting. Can I reach? I can. Okay. So, oh, hold on. We do have sprites in that army and dwarves. So let's get the sprites first and then the dwarves. The dwarves are probably going to be the unit that gets replaced by the unicorns. It's always a tough choice for the sorceresses in my mind. Do you leave the battle dwarves at home? Like, for what they are, they're pretty bad, but they're way better than sprites. But sprites fly and they have no retaliation. Like, you know, do you leave your level 1 creature or do you leave your level 2 creature? Most of the time, it makes sense. Yeah, take the higher tiered creature. They're just better. But then consider in the wizard faction, you know, golems. How often do you end up taking golems on the road? Not that often. How about with the warlocks and their 5th level creature, the Hydra, who's very slow? How often do you take them on the road? Again, not that often. So the choice is not always clear cut. All right, we are definitely going to fight this fight. And again, with the archery and with these 4 phoenixes, I'm actually feeling pretty good about this. So let's go. I think I'm going to do much better, and hopefully we can keep the enemy from fleeing. Let's see, though. We do have a couple spells. Remember, we have a haste, we have a slow. We've got a bless, we've got a stone skin, we've got a cure. This is excellent. This is excellent. Ivan has got all the perfect spells I could want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Giants are still fast enough that they can get down the battlefield. Do I need to contend with these 4 war trolls and these 3 archmagi and these orc chiefs though? I don't think so. I think I need to wait. I think I need to let my ranged troops do the damage and then just wait on these phoenixes. I do. With 14 spell power. Let's think about this. With 14 spell power, if Dawn has a lightning bolt or any kind of damaging spell, that's bad. Maybe if I slow the giants, maybe she will use another spell like a Dispel or a Cure to remove that. And that can save me a lot of harm. With 7 attack, 8 defense. Interesting that we have more defense than attack. I don't know if I should just go down the battlefield and take my damage, just kind of take my hits. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow the giants and I'm going to attack these ogre lords so that I will take the retaliation from the archmagi. And then if the giants come and attack me, oh well, I've got pretty good defense. He's going to be doing reduced damage to me. Let's just see how this goes. He slows my phoenixes, not using a spell, an offensive spell. That's very interesting. 1 to 2. Let's kill all 4 of these trolls. Very nice. And then I think I actually need to start focusing these giants. I don't care about the damage from 13 orc chiefs. I care about killing 3 giants, doing 500 damage. That's what I care about. That's my idea of a good time. Good luck. It's like tipping in America. Never expected, but always appreciated. Yeah, sure. Golly. We're gonna probably bless the phoenixes and then let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can reach even though we're slowed. The ogre lords are gonna get to go next. And they've got 3 speed creatures and 4 speed creatures. I don't know. We might be able to. Let's kill these ogre lords. Let's once again. You know what? Is it better to bless the phoenixes? Or is it better to bless the greater druids? 14 attack, 19 attack. Should we do the math right now? Where's my phone? We're gonna do the basic math here. Okay. So first let's do the phoenixes and okay. I have some time, so I'm going to do a little bit of calculations that are going to appear. Actually, wait a second. Hold on. I've got something here that I can do. Okay. So, I've got these 31 grand elves. They do anywhere between 5 to 8 damage. Let's assume that 31 of these greater druids, 31 times 8, say that they're blessed, that's going to be 248 damage. Then let's recognize that their attack skill is a little bit less than that of the giants. So 13 defense. Okay, 14, 13, 19. 14, 13, 19. Okay. So it's 14 attack, 13 defense, 19 attack. And the reason that's going to be important is because every point of attack over defense increases the damage that you do by 10%. So the phoenixes are going to be doing, what, 60 bonus percent damage to these giants, whereas here I'm only going to be doing 10% bonus damage with the greater druids. Okay, so 5 to 8, that's 248 damage if I do 8, right? Is that what I said? 8 times 31 equals 248. Let's just say I do the low end of the damage. That's times, let's see, 5 times 31. Okay. 155. So that's the damage range here. Well, I guess I can just mouse over right now. 187 to 300. Where are we getting that number from? 187 to 300. That's because of my bonus damage from the 10% bonus damage because of my attack skill being over their defense, plus the 10% bonus damage from my archery, right? Does that math add up? If it's 20% bonus damage, 24, let's see, 24, that's 50. Yeah, that adds up. Okay. Does that add up? That basically adds up. 10% here. No other modifiers. Okay. Thank you for going through this exercise with me, by the way. I appreciate this. Okay. So going back then, we're doing all this. 187 to 300, 155 to... Okay. Okay. So if I bless right now the greater druids, that's going to be guaranteeing me 300 damage when I could otherwise be doing 187. That is guaranteeing an extra 113 damage if I bless here. Now with the Phoenixes, with their 19 attack, right? Let's just kind of get into them a little bit. We do 20 to 40 damage here. And so because it's 20 to 40 damage here with 19 attack, they're going to be doing, again, the 60% bonus damage. If I got 4 Phoenixes that do the 40 damage, plus 16. That's going to be 224 damage at the top end with the bonus damage. And then at the low end, if it's only 20 times 4, and that's 80. So that's plus 32. Wow, that's a big swing. 112. Okay. Okay. So overall, I'm leaving about 112 damage on the table if I miss here, and I'm leaving 113 damage on the table with the greater druids. There may be some other factor that I'm not considering here, but simply based on math, knowing that, again, this range is 112 to 224, and 224 minus 112 is 112. Clearly, that one extra point of damage from the greater druids is going to be the direction we should for sure go. This math is so stupid, and I'm not very confident in this math, but this is my basic understanding. And so what have we taken into account? We've taken into account the damage range, the high end and the low end, We've taken the attack skill of the creatures versus the defense of the giants, and overall it looks like, oh, and plus the modifiers with the archery. It looks like overall we should consider going for the bless on the greater druids. It sounds silly when I put it all out here like this. And again, I want somebody else to double check my math for me, but that's the thought process that goes into it. Folks, thank you for helping me decide that we are going to bless the greater druids and maybe do 1 extra point of damage. So silly. Okay, 300 points of damage here. Yes. Okay. Okay, and good morale. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Do you see what happened? I'm so silly. I'm so silly and I'm so sorry. Here you go. Okay. So clearly we made a mistake. It's possible we're going to get good morale here, but not likely. It's possible we're going to get good morale here, but not likely. And now the enemy runs. Wow. Alrighty. So clearly what I did there is I blocked my Phoenixes who were slowed off from the giants because I put the sprites in the one spot that they couldn't go. Actually, there was 2 spots that they could not go. But we took no losses. So ultimately we took the experience. I hope that that's not going to come back to bite me later. It probably will. But for now, we're going to rehire Jacqueline so we don't forget. We're going to do that first thing tomorrow. And we're just going to roll with it because that's how we do. We roll with the punches. There are ups, there are downs, but our composure is ultimately the most valuable thing that we can possibly have here in this day and age. Can I get a heck yeah in the comments? Okay. So, Jacqueline is back and Astra is back. We do have some troops over here in Weed Patch. That was the name of our second town. It was Weed Patch. Jacqueline, there's no troops here to purchase. Okay, we're going to get the 6 unicorns. No, we're out of gold. In a day, we're going to get the unicorns and we're going to trade with Astra so that way she can go through these rangers and she can start to explore. It doesn't really matter to me if Astra explores or if Jacqueline explores, but that's going to be something that we do. Ivan's going to take this town. I don't know what's in there. I don't really care. We are big, we are tough, we are scary, and especially against one captain here, I am not too concerned about what we're going to find here. I don't think that our phoenixes are going to be in any danger. I think that the ballista is going to do the damage on that druid that we just saw there. Let's destroy these wolves first. The only problem right now is that I don't have any offensive spells. I have nothing that will actually do damage. If I had something that did damage, maybe we could make something happen here. As it stands, one greater druid will go down. And that's just the price of doing business. Okay. So, yep, we do lose that druid there. And we're going to... do we step into this town? Let's see if there's anything in here. There's 7 Cyclops. Why is there 7 Cyclops? It's so interesting. I would always rather have 7 Cyclops over these battle dwarves. I think that this is an important thing to consider right now. Do I need these troops? No. Do I need Uncle Ivan to have the toughest troops possible? Yes. I think we're going to send Jacqueline out this way to pick up windmills and whatever she can. I think Astra is going to stay back so that way she can do the resupply if necessary. And then Ivan is going to go a little bit out of his way and then a little bit back just so we have another week's worth of, or another day's worth of gold just so we can set off with these Cyclops. And then someone else is going to resupply him. We're going to try and find the Castle of Ivory Gates with this army. We're going to leave the sprites. We're going to keep the dwarves. We're going to leave all these troops here and we're going to continue up this road. We're going to follow roads. That's what we're going to do. We're going to follow roads as much as possible. Because my hope is that by following roads, it will lead us into the enemy. It'll lead us to our ultimate objective. It's not a guarantee, but it is a good strategy. 1100 gold, we're not going to purchase another hero out of this town, although part of me would really like to, so that way they can scout for me. Right now, this uncharted terrain is probably the scariest thing here. Jacqueline's going to stay here so she can go water wheel, windmill, water wheel, Cyclops, to Ivan, and so on and so forth. Left or right? I'm guessing that this road, does this road go off the north? Let's go, let's go on the road this way. Or mind, I don't really care. And you can see we're just kind of walking step by step, so that way if something comes to our attention, we can deal with it. Watchtower's not bad if I was barbarians, but I'm just not. Let's go this way. Wow. After regular growth, the populations of unicorns has doubled. Doubled. 19 unicorns. That's a lot of unicorns. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Up, there's a wizard town. This is Pig's Eye. It's day 1, so attacking these wizards is very good. There's Dawn. There she is. She had giants, but she didn't have titans. Let's see. Let's defeat her in this town and go from here. Looks like she's not gonna have much of a chance, and that's just fine for me. Spells to consider. We did pick a Bloodlust. That's new. I mean, she has 3 defense, but that's all she really has to her name. The Bless or the Bloodlust. Either way, I'm going to want to get right on top of these Magi. Do you want to do an extra 30% damage, or do you want to do max damage? I think right now, with 4 Phoenixes, knowing I'm already doing 90% bonus damage, let's just Bless so we get the max value and kill 8 of these Magi. 1 Greater Druid goes down. Slow is cast on the Phoenixes. They are still a powerhouse. They are tough to deal with. 19 Orcs is going to be my next goal here. They're going to go down with no problems. And then with these Druids, do I attack the rocks? They're not going to do 82 points of damage, but the Centaurs could attack my backline. Let's deal with them in that order. The Cyclops are just here so they can go either north or south. Another Greater Druid goes down. We are keeping our stacks happy and healthy. Oh my goodness. We have run right over Dawn, and she had no chance. What spells did she have? I really thought we would see her do like a chain lightning or something crazy, but no. +2 knowledge and spell power. No paralyze from her. And there it is, +3 spell power from the brooch. So she wasn't actually really well leveled up. She just happened to have some excellent artifacts. And they were excellent, don't get me wrong, but not nearly something I would need to worry about. Because I have, what, 23 spell points I'm missing out on right now, I'm going to stay in Pig's Eye overnight, and then we're going to continue up these roads. It looks like they all kind of converge on this area. True to my word, there's 1,000 gold there. There's 2 ore here. And I'd love to get these unicorns. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go just pick up Phoenixes and unicorns. I'll pick up the Cyclops now because they're a low investment. And then if an enemy comes out of the darkness, at least that they don't get them. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have Ivan take 2 steps out of the way. Purchase another hero, somebody who can just scout for me. Oh, Natasha actually has a artifact here. Maybe she was a red hero before red got defeated. 5,100 gold left. Pass that on over. And then let's just have Natasha see what she can see. Alchemist Lab, very good. And then back in we go. Month 2, week 1, day 2. Phoenixes, and then 11 unicorns. Let's have Natasha go first. And then looks like Kalindra's going to take us down. No giants though, just Archmagi. You know what? I'm going to have Jacqueline, because I don't know if... I'm guessing, just because I started off in this corner. Okay, so if I'm in this corner, and if the goal is to beat our enemy's town of Ivory Gates, I'm guessing it's not on this close side here. I'm guessing it's not on this close side here. I'm guessing it's in the opposite corner. But I do see this road here. So this road, I was right, it does kind of go off to the right here. If I'm guessing it's not here. Let's go to this corner and to this corner with Jacqueline. And let's just kind of see what we can find. Unicorns popped up everywhere. Wouldn't this be a good time to use my diplomacy? I submit to you that yes, it would, but because it's only basic, I'm not going to worry so much. Natasha is going down. There's not much we can do about that. We did not pick up any extra gold, so let's get 13 unicorns. And then set out. Oh, I'm going to have 5,000 gold next turn. Let's just wait one more turn. Just one more turn. I'm guessing Kalindra. Wow, 36 Archmagi. That's a pretty big army. Let me right click. No, let me right click, please. I really wanted to right click on Kalindra to see what she had. And I'm not going to ever know. And I'm very sad for it. Let's just get the Grand Elves. Probably a mistake. In the same way that you should always get the Master Swordsman over the Veteran Pikemen, I think you should always get the Greater Druids over the Elves. I think. Let's head north. Oh, we're not going to go that way. But I do not know. Oh, there was a magic well there. Let's get Kalindra so she can't cause me any problems. What in tarnation? If we lose Uncle Ivan, that's actually fine, remember, because he's not a win condition. But I really think she's got to have something crazy, doesn't she? 1 attack, 5 defense, 5 spell power, 8 knowledge. She's got to have some good spells, doesn't she? If I go down the battlefield here, the steel golems are not going to be able to reach me, and that's kind of the unit I'm most scared of. I'm more scared of the Archmagi than I am the rocks. I'm more scared of the Archmagi than I am the rocks and the boars combined. I could steel skin 19 defense. I've already got good defense. 13, 20 attack, 13 defense. I think I bless. Well, do I bless the Phoenixes or do I bless the Greater Druids? I think you bless the Phoenixes if you know you're going to follow it up with the Bloodlust. If you think you're not going to lose so many troops. 5 defense. 5 defense. You know what? Rocks are going to go, and then my battle dwarves are going to go. If I attack this way, I'm only going to kill 3 to 7? What? Ivan does not have a lot of attack this game. And I don't have any major disabling spells. I could Disrupting Ray a couple of times. I could Curse. No, Curse isn't going to help as much. I think maybe the Steel Skin. Maybe the Steel Skin. Except you're already going to do reduced damage to me anyway, and so the effectiveness of the Steel Skin is not nearly so great. But I don't want to end up having 2 Phoenixes by the start of next round, and then wish that I had blessed someone else. Tell you what, we're not going to bless or Steel Skin the Phoenixes. We're going to end up blessing Greater Druids or the Grand Elves, depending on probably the Greater Druids, so they can attack these rocks. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to try and kill as many of these Archmagi as we can. I don't love this, but I think this is actually my best bet. And we're actually going to fight here, so that way steel golems can't get good morale and still reach us. Okay, I don't love this, but we're going to do it. 4 go down. There's a bless. I got 1 Phoenix left, and now I feel much better about my choices there. These boars are going to go this way because of the terrain. They can't go anywhere else. Wow, they just have so much defense. Okay. Continue to focus on these Archmagi, and now I think we are going to bless Greater Druids. I mean, the Phoenixes are going to go down next turn. Unless, because I think the rocks are going to have to go this way. 1 halfling's not going to do 12 hit points of damage. The steel golems are not going to make it up there. So the Archmagi are going to be dealt with next turn, unless they just like magic arrow the Phoenixes, and then they free up. Unless they do that, and then they free up all that extra space. And so we're going to have to do this. We're going to send the Cyclops kind of here in the middle, so they can go either here or here. And then the Battle Dwarves are going to stack here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing as much damage as I would have hoped, and that feels bad. Feels really bad. So we're blessed here. We got to take care of these rocks, but the Phoenixes are going to skip. I don't think that a curse there to counteract is going to be useful. I think it's going to be a bloodlust. Maybe a haste. Maybe I should haste the Cyclops. They're not going to kill 20 rocks. Okay, skip on the Phoenixes. There's the magic arrow, and that makes me happy that I used the Greater Druids to attack over there. I am going to lose this fight, by the way. I think that that is clear to me at this time. So with that being said, if we know we're going to lose this fight, let's try and kill as many of these Archmagi as possible, because we're going to have some dwarves, and so we're going to have the last chance to run. I'm just planning on having the last chance to run. I don't think that these Greater Druids are going to get unstuck from these rocks, so let's try and focus on ways we can help these Grand Elves. 13 attack, 13 defense. I can do 30 bonus damage if I Bloodlust my Grand Elves. And that actually helps my damage go up a lot. So there's a couple Archmagi going down there. I'm going to just take out this one boar because get out of my sight. Get the hints. Do not laser eye your own battle dwarfs. Did you see that? My natural inclination is to sacrifice my own troops in the worst ways possible. That is that's a really good lucky moment there. I really liked that. That was terrific. Okay. And the Grand Elves are very fast, so they're going to get to go first here. Disrupting Ray? Because right now I'm doing 30% bonus damage. I could do 60. I could do 60 bonus damage. But then the next shot is going to go on these Grand Elves, and they're going to get hurt really quickly. I got shield. Yeah, but these steel golems are still going to have to be dealt with. I think that we actually do Disrupting Ray, though. Do we? Do we buff our own troops, or do we try and take out theirs? If I buff the Cyclops, and they can help get through these rocks one turn quicker, and then they can still be useful against the steel golems. How many shots do I have left? 20 here, 15 here. If I can destroy these creatures, and if Kalindra does not have very good offensive spells, we've seen a magic arrow so far, right? The magic arrow did 50 damage. I could potentially just kind of run in circles a little bit while I try and take out these steel golems. 15 Arc Magi. Okay, so we're going to attack these Arc Magi. Let's Disrupting Ray them now. Hope that we can clean up these rocks this turn, and then the next turn the Greater Druids can start to attack the Arc Magi. Nice. Good luck. 4 Arc Magi go down. More go down. They've got a Lightning Bolt that does 125 points of damage. Crap. 2 are going to go down, and then we're going to... I need all the damage. I got to guarantee that these Greater Druids will attack next turn, and it only cost me 1 Greater Druid there. 3 to 6, and then the Dwarves should be able to continue there. Okay. So we are free. How dare that Halfling do that? And then so we're Blessed here, Bloodlusted here, and the Archmage are going to go. Worth noting, by the way, this is a time where I'm very, very sad. You can tell that even though I have all that spell power, that the Bloodlust is almost up. Bloodlust only lasts 3 turns. I'll repeat that. Bloodlust only lasts 3 turns. If you have 1 spell power, if you have 20 spell power, Bloodlust only lasts for 3 turns. It's one of those spells that is not directly tied to your spell power. So the value is pretty high on barbarians who have 1 spell power because it's going to last for a little while. Whereas the Bless is going to last longer. I'm still happy with the decision I made there originally. It's going to help me out a lot. We're still going to do a ton of damage, but worth noting that that Bloodlust is almost up. Okay. The shield is not going to be nearly as important anymore. We might steel skin the Cyclops just so we can deal with these. Well, never mind. Just so we can deal with these steel golems. I wish I had an anti-magic. We're just going to keep bleeding damage to those lightning bolts. So let's take out all these Arc Magi right now. Let's do that. And let's 1, 2, 3. Let's get into range of this halfling. 1, 2, 3. Let's get into range of this steel golem. And then let's just pour damage on them. We're going to end up bloodlusting these Greater Druids, I think, rather than any other spell. So let's just bloodlust them now. Well, if I Disrupting Ray, then everybody's going to do better against them. Let's actually Disrupting Ray. Disrupting Ray affects the damage that all my creatures will do against them. Let's actually do that. That's actually it. That was a much greater decision. That was absolutely the correct decision. That was absolutely the correct decision. Okay. And still we press forward. We still have the Cyclops. The Cyclops is probably next turn actually going to attack the Halfling. I think so. Just that way we prevent their chance at running later. Oh, I should have... darn, I should have Disrupting Rate again. It's the right decision. 9 defense now. It was absolutely the right decision. Okay. Let's see if they are going to Lightning Bolt again. Magic Arrow. So cheeky. But with 14 Steel Golems left, folks, we turned this loss into a victory, and it was not an easy feat, but ultimately I think that we did it in the best way possible. We might end them right here. Let's do it. Let's kill them. Yes! And they do not get to run. That was an excellent fight. Let's put that. That's probably well, I've had a lot of great fights. That's definitely in my top 10 greatest or most favorite fights of all time. I don't know if it makes the top 5 list, but that was definitely in the top 10. That was an excellent fight. And really pretty overwhelming odds. I think that the decision to use the Phoenixes early was still the right decision, even though that meant that they got focused down a little bit earlier. Being able to slow down those 36 Arc Magi was gigantic. And then that final stack of 50 was crazy. And the Disrupting Rays were absolutely the correct decision there, for the reasons I mentioned, where Disrupting Ray means that all my troops can do extra damage. +3 defense, +1 defense and the 1 attack, +2 knowledge. There's some luck. And there's a town here that we can take. Do we take the leadership or the morale? I think we take the leadership. Baywatch. I was kind of hoping that this would be the town of Ivory Gates. I was hoping this would be Ivory Gates. It is not. Can we reach? We cannot reach Mandigal this turn, unfortunately. We're going to split our troops, though, preemptively, because I think I'm going to plan on attacking him and beating him. I really do. Okay, so let's plan on taking Baywatch. Reinforcements. What reinforcements do we have? Not a lot here, but again, we've got 20 unicorns coming, plus the 4 phoenixes. The enemy opts not to try and chase us. They're going to just stay hidden in their town. Jacqueline's going to see, again, maybe Ivory Gates is over here. I'm not going to get to know, not when I have only 22 goblins. Maybe we should start to trend in this direction just in case it's over here. We definitely win this fight. Yep, we definitely win this fight. And maybe we get more spells in a mage guild. Mandigal the Wizard, he's not tough. He's not tough at all. I do want to make sure I kill all of these troops this turn if at all possible. I can kill 24 here. Let's kind of do this. Let's spread our damage out just a little bit. Uh-oh. I didn't kill as many as I thought I would. Let's bless here. Kill 35. With the good luck, then we absolutely kill off 40. And then I kill 25 here. It's not guaranteed, but let's try. With the good luck, of course we can. If we're lucky, we can do anything. You can do anything if you set your mind to it, you work hard, you eat your vegetables, you have a nice firm handshake, you have good eye contact, and you just suck up to the right people. You can be the most productive member of society if you just do those things. Wow. And then Santa Claus can come and visit you early for Christmas every single year. Troops? Wow, this is actually a lot of troops here. Oh, wow. So it looks like we're actually not going to need to resupply because, I mean, we're not going to need to wait necessarily. Good Mage Guild. Unfortunately, I can't use all these spells, but a Lightning Bolt and a Magic Arrow, we finally have some offensive damaging spells, which at this point with 7 spell power, that's not too bad. We don't have any spell points left though. We might need to take 2 steps out, purchase another hero, and then give them a boar so that way they can go get that gold mine. Dismiss. And then just see kind of what else is out here. So Ambrose will do that. Oh geez, unicorns everywhere. Yeah, well, I guess that there's this magic well here. I think I've committed though to waiting one more turn so I can leave Baywatch with tons of troops. And again, that'll probably help me with Astra. Astra can move a little bit further and farther for the resupply. Oh, water wheel here. And this is all news to me, by the way. When I mentioned at the very beginning I'd done about a third of the map, I knew that there was this town here, but I didn't get past here or here. So this is all new to me, really. Ambrose needs to go around. Let's just... Nobody I didn't pick up those centaurs, but somebody did. A little scary. Looks like a gem mine here. Okay. 107 halflings is actually pretty good. Let's grab them first. Followed actually by the rocks, because I've got plenty of ranged damage now. Archmagi are good, but let's get the rocks who've got some pretty good defense and can fly. I think that flexibility of being able to fly is going to help me out the most. And do I go? I think I'm going to try for this town up here in the right-hand side. It is the right-hand side, and it is up here. There's no way I'm beating Myra, though. Several titans? Several titans? No. By the way, I knew there was a town up there because there was a road that went up there, and I figured that the road's only going to go up there if there's a town. I was correct. Gold mine here, gold mine here. With these two wizard towns, if I can get this cloud castle, this gem mine right here can be very useful for that pursuit. And then, is there any more gem mines? J for gems, J for gems. One here, that one here, one here, one up here. Let's just see. I don't know. Why hasn't Myra come out yet? I'm guessing that she is on patrol. I'm guessing that she's not allowed to leave that town. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that if she was going to strike out on her own, she would have already done so. We will find out right here. Yep, it looks like she is going to stay there for us. And I'm very happy for that, actually. That is just fine for me. Okay, but this gives me a time to get gems. And gems. Oh, and let's just get the sulfur just because. And we will do our very, very best to actually get these towns with cloud castles in them. At least one of them for now. Astra is still coming in hot for the resupply. And I'm not seeing any other enemies, actually, which is a little bit weird. You'd think that we would know where they're at this point, but I don't have any ideas. We're gonna make sure that we have the best artifacts here. Okay, no spyglass, not necessary. We'll keep the berserk just in case. We're gonna lose the paralyzed there. We don't need all of this good morale. +1 attack, +1 defense could be useful, so we're gonna keep that. Luck is never a bad thing. What level of luck do we have? Advanced. So this actually, let's see, +2. We actually don't need 2 bits of good luck here. Now we have 4 slots available, so Ivan can pick up some additional artifacts if necessary. And okay, remember how we said that like unicorns and like we have basic diplomacy? I really wish I had advanced diplomacy right now. I really do. Astra's gonna do her best to get these ore mines and stuff. I think I'm gonna end up just having a whole ton of unicorns here, but I want to make sure I have the gold to get them, and I kind of want to see if I can get at least advanced diplomacy before I really try and soak up all these wonderful unicorns into my armies. So let's actually go south here and just see what's here to the south. Maybe there'll be some good things south. And then this will give me the opportunity to pick up Cloud Castle, trading for gems. That's 9. That's 14. Let's trade some of our crystal. That's 20. Okay. And so now we are well on our way to Titans. It's going to be still a long ways away. It's going to be an uphill battle, but we'll get there. Nothing here. Oh, there's some mercury there. That's good. And then I don't actually mind getting other mines, because then that's just resources I can potentially trade for. I'm taking the experience here instead of the gold because, again, I want to get that advanced diplomacy. Generally, at this point, you'd have me say, well, the battle, I mean, it looks like I found Ivory Gates. I just need to defeat them, and I know exactly what I'm up against. If I can get the troops now, that means that there's less enemies I have to fight later. Yes, but if I can get the advanced diplomacy, then I can get the troops I really want, which is those unicorns right now. I mean, and luck is always good too. Let's be real about that. It takes about 6,000 experience to get a new level these days. Again, trees of knowledge. They're out there. The truth is out there. Let's see. And I think Ambrose needs to kind of figure out what's along these roads over here. It looks like I can't get this way, but I'll be very, very sad if an enemy pops out of the uncharted territory and just ruins my day, because even though I'm going slow by snow, they can go very quickly by road. Let's see. I will fight a genie. The genie goes down. That's +2 spell power. Take the gold here. Take the experience there. But I'm just not seeing any other enemies. I'm hoping, and it's quite possible that the enemy has only one town left. And if they only have one town left, then I'm in a good position, because then they're not going to be able to actually do much, because they can't hire a hero if Myra is stuck in that town. If the game has her set on guard in just that one position, she can't take one step out, hire a hero, and then go from there. She's just stuck. So we'll have to see if anything changes. Maybe I should kind of continue around, and that's actually why I'm not going to get really close to her in case she's on a patrol range of like 3 or 4 squares. But if I find out that she is, then oh well, I found out that she is. So be it. We'll take that, and we're gonna have this first chance to get these not necromancers, these unicorns. Do I need this Evercold Icicle? I don't think I'm gonna be doing cold damage very much. Okay, let's see. We've got plenty of gold. 5 of the 18 unicorns will join our army. The rest will leave us alone for 9,000 gold. That's a terrible rate, but we will do it all the same. I've got the gold right now. Let's just make that happen. Free experience. I hate that artifact, but so be it. Nothing here. I think with this army I can fight ghosts without too much problem. Jacqueline's circling around just to see what else is out here. And then up along this road. Wow, yeah, it looks like nobody's been up here at all. So staying far away from Myra unless it's too late. Ah, unicorns. Unicorns! More gold though via the abandoned mine. I don't think I'm going to have any problems. We'll accept those losses. That is a gold mine. There's a barbarian town here. Fight the boars. Free experience. And Jacqueline continues to roll. Yeah, I haven't seen any enemies. I've seen no reason to think that the enemy is going to change their fortunes against me. Yeah, if they haven't even taken this town, then I think that this is just a matter of retaking this town as quickly as possible. And the best way I can do that is make sure I have Titans en masse. And I've already got, let's see. Oh, the problem is that the gems kind of compete with the Titans. But if I get another group of unicorns, excuse me, another group of phoenixes, I'll be feeling pretty good. So let's trade pretty much all of our crystal. Get the fence meadow, and the next turn we will get the phoenixes here. Although I might have just traded too much of my ore. That might have been a mistake. Experience, experience, experience. Experience. We're not even thinking about it. We're just doing experience. Jacqueline continues her quest for things that are shiny. There's some more gems. I wish I'd known that. There's some of the ore that I'm probably going to need in just 1 second. Oh, we've got enough for the red tower. That last little bit was everything I needed. And then we have giants, red tower. We have 6 level creatures in all of these castles. That is plenty for us. Week of the Mongoose. Ivan continues to push his advantage here. Just soaking up experience. Darn. I'm really, like, truly, I'm trying to get enough experience so I can pick up all these unicorns, and it's just not working out. We are going to take the gold here, though. You find a small tree that closely resembles the great warlock Karnoth, with a ring around one of its twigs. Scraps of clothing and rotting leather lead you to suspect that it is Karnoth, transformed. Since you can't help him, you take the magic ring. That's 2 extra spell points per day to this hero. It's like having advanced mysticism. But yeah, Jacqueline does not need the experience. She's happy as a clam. She's flourishing, staying in her lane, with a bright and sunny disposition. No one can challenge her in her eternal optimism. And that's why we all appreciate her. We're going to need to be a true leader. So I'm going to need leadership for that artifact. So when I come and defeat this town, it will be Ivan that picks up that artifact there. It looks like we're going to have both the white pearl and the black pearl. A walk across a dry saltwater lake bed yields an unlikely prize. A white pearl amidst shattered shells and debris. That's +1 knowledge, +1 spell power from the white pearl. Okay. And then... while pausing to rest, you notice a bobcat climbing a short tree to get at a crow's nest. On impulse, you climb the tree yourself and scare off the cat. When you look in the nest, you find a collection of shiny stones and a ring. The elemental ring halves the casting cost of all summoning spells. By the way, it's worth noting that in my part of the world, we have bobcats, we have mountain lions, we have cougars, and they are very different. Mountain lions and cougars are pretty much the same thing. In fact, they are the same thing. The bobcat is different. So if you think that your hero is climbing a tree to then, like, with one hand dangle off of a branch and then just like swat at a mountain lion, a 180-pound mountain lion with the other hand, yeah, that's not quite what's happening here. A bobcat is much smaller, and yet I would not get that close to a bobcat personally if I can possibly help it. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, all summoning spells are now going to be half cost. Good to know. Let's see, moving on. Yeah, I don't really know what Astra can do there. But I've got enough troops here that she can start to kind of clear out here and here. It looks like there's a +3 sword right there that we can pick up as well. We're not finishing this map very quickly, but we are being very thorough with it. And really, the reason I'm being very thorough is I want to pick up as many unicorns as possible. And this is my chance. This is my chance to use diplomacy, and I don't get the opportunity that often, so darn it, I'm going to take that chance while I can. $3,000 experience to go. So close. So close. I'm fighting every single fight I can. I'm taking full advantage of what the world is providing me. I gotta say, I'm a little bit amazed with the way that this battle shook out. Because in the previous playthrough I tried on this, where I had to stop because I realized that I was having some major issues with the recording, and I had to scrap it. It was a lot more of a difficult fight, to be honest. I don't know what happened here. I think that green exhausted themselves against red here in this general area, and then I destroyed Dawn, and then I was able to push my advantage while they were weak, and then I just overcame. But I think that what happened here is that red rolled over and died a little too quickly. I am full of artifacts, some good and some bad. But the 500 gold per day is not really going to help me, so I don't feel too bad. I guess I have another hero coming up who can actually help and relieve me of those issues. So we will. Let's have Jacqueline do that now. And in fact, she's going to go pick up the purse herself. I will drop the sack of gold because she doesn't need it. Definitely get rid of the astrolabe. Oh, do I have any other artifacts I need? +3, +1. I don't even need that right there because I got the expert leadership now. Okay. So far, so good. Astra, I suppose, with 2 Titans and these 100 halflings are going to just roll right over any other troops that she comes up against. Take the mysticism. And Ambrose, with his 1 halfling, does not feel so confident. Mercury, sulfur, gems, gold mine, advanced diplomacy, and now we can begin to fight unicorns anywhere and everywhere that we see them. We're gonna go get these rangers just because somehow we've gone a full way around the map. We went to the northern corner, then down to the southwestern corner, and then now we are back. Because I'm here, I will just stop in personally, welcome all my friends, and then just set off after we have a glorious feast. In your travels, you find a leather purse filled with gold that once belonged to a great warrior king who had the ability to transform any inanimate object into gold. That's plus 500 gold from that purse. And it'll actually work out fine because it's day 7 right now. So those goblins, or excuse me, those orcs thought that I forgot about them. They thought that they were safe. They were not safe. No, they were not. 7 phoenixes, 10 more unicorns, 23 greater druids, 44 grand elves. Oh gosh. This is an embarrassment of riches at this point. We'll go out of our way and then we'll come back. Yeah, just an embarrassment of riches. In fact, we're probably going to see if we can pick up these hordes of elves because gold is not a problem. I'm like some famous rich person. I am Bill Gates. And I'm saying to myself, well, how much can a banana possibly cost? It's like $15? You know, like I'm just out of touch with reality. Yes, that joke shamelessly stolen from Arrested Development. Absolutely. I find that a lot of my humor is actually borrowed. Stolen is a little too strong of a word, or at least it's a word that makes me feel uncomfortable. But borrowed from others. I'm going to drop the rocks because maybe, just maybe, I can pick up some other troops here. Like these elves. Are there any other troops I would try to pick up? No, just the elves. Okay. But like a giant sponge, I see something funny and I parrot it somewhat. Not to say I don't have unique and interesting humor, but then again, the most dry and boring people I've ever met think that they're funny. So wouldn't it be an absolute shame if I was that person and I thought I was funny and really, I just wasn't. 25 of the 50 elves will join me. It's a terrible rate, but I will accept it. But this is all on our way to our main goal, to the main castle. We are now going to sleep. Ambrose and Jacqueline. Might as well set up camp because you are just gonna stay put for me. Okay. Doesn't matter. We're trying to now finish this fight as quickly as possible. I'll fight the swordsmen because they're experienced. +1 defense. +1 attack. Boars are not a problem. Nobody is a problem. Resources aren't even a problem. 7 out of the 14 unicorns. We'll take them. We'll take the experience. We're only 4,000 experience away. These Grand Elves want to join. We're absolutely going to let them. And then let's just make our way. Oh, I guess we can go this way. This way's just as fast, and there's more experience there. Oh, it's not as fast. I thought that there was no mountain range there. I was clearly wrong. We now have the ballistics. I did not mean to take that experience. And then by the time we get to this wizard town, there should be plenty of Titans there to add to our army. We're going to end up dropping the elves, it looks like. But if you've stuck with me through the last 15 minutes, you'll know that this has been a little bit boring in the sense that there hasn't been much of a fight. I haven't really felt pressured to do much. And that's not my fault. I blame the game. That was the game's fault. The game should have pushed me, and I can't control what the game does or does not do. So, by the way, while I have you here, just for a moment, it is worth noting that I am already planning on my next deviation from the campaigns, and I have decided that I'm going to be doing Ghost Planet, which is one of my all-time favorite maps. In fact, it is my favorite map here in Heroes, Might and Magic 2, and it is going to be a very, very large departure from all of the other maps I've done so far. As much as possible, I've been doing pretty much blind playthroughs, not 100%, but pretty much it's been blind playthroughs. And I think that those are fun because I get to do something new, you get to see someone else do something new, and you don't have to worry about someone just running the game through and breaking it. You're more likely to come across wins and losses naturally, I suppose. Ghost Planet is going to be a little bit of a deviation from that because I do know it very, very well, and I'm not going to pretend like I don't. But I'm excited to still have fun with it, and I think that you're going to have fun with it too. If you've never played it before, then I hope that you look at it later and say, oh boy, this actually looks really exciting. I can't wait to play. Otherwise, buckle up. It's going to be a really, really excellent one. It's, again, a huge map, and it's got a lot of very, very fun thematic elements to it. Charles Watkins did a great job. Charles Watkins, of course, did other great scenarios. I think he did Plains of Akon. He definitely did Colossal Caverns, but some tremendously wonderful maps. Mr. Watkins, wherever you are out there, I hope you're doing very, very well. So this is our final army: 112 Grand Elves, 110 Unicorns, 26 Titans, 19 Phoenixes, 56 Greater Druids. Is this overkill? This is absolutely overkill. 14 attack, 18 defense, 10 spell power, 8 knowledge. Not amazing spells, but not too bad. And then, of course, against our enemy here, Myra, with 2 attack, 3 defense, 5 spell power, 5 knowledge, 25 giants, 10 titans, 68 arc magi, 58 rocks, and 85 steel golems. This is not going to be much of a fight at all, I am sorry to say. I'm only going to lose 1 titan, but we're going to pick up about 14,000 experience. This map is so one that I'm going to just hit auto combat on my end and just kind of watch the battle play out. Interesting that the AI wanted to cast shield on my titans. Yes, the titans and mitigating damage on that power stack is probably the best thing you can do, but I mean, is that really the way? I mean, would you rather mitigate damage by just casting a defensive spell, or would you rather mitigate damage by attacking the enemy before they can attack you? I mean, you could have hasted the titans and they would have gotten to go immediately. That could have been a great idea. Myra casting Armageddon there to throw up her middle finger in my face, destroying her last few iron golems, but doing damage to me is hilarious, by the way. Way to go, Myra, for the final cap to this scenario. Looks like the Medal of Courage probably had a couple of other little artifacts, but nothing crazy. And finally, we get the Expert Diplomacy. It doesn't matter. We got our 110 unicorns. We probably could have beaten this map with just them. We didn't even get to explore the whole map, but ultimately we were able to retake the castle of Ivory Gates. Green player is vanquished. So, folks, with that, we have successfully completed every scenario in the Descendants campaign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we just completed there. We did 7, the Elven Lands before, and then 8, the Epic Battle. So, that was a great campaign. We do still have more to come, though. Let's see what we actually have. I'm going to let you know right now, so that way there's no guesses about it. We've completed Price of Loyalty. We completed Descendants just now. It's either going to be Voyage Home or Wizard's Isle, right? Yeah, we haven't done Voyage Home, and we haven't done Wizard's Isle. So we're going to roll the dice right now, just so that way, if you want to be up to speed and you want to start playing along with me, you can do that. A 1, 2, or a 3 is going to be Voyage Home. A 4, 5, or a 6 will be Wizard's Isle. Let's just roll the dice real quick. Looks like we roll a 1. And so with the dice roll of 1, that's going to be Voyage Home is going to be the next scenario that we're going to play. Folks, this has been fun. We will plan on doing Voyage Home, Scenario 1, Stranded, next time. Until that time, look after yourself, look after your family and friends, do good things, make good choices, remember who you are. My name is FixFox, and I am out.